Good morning from New York City. I've just woken up in America. Turns out it wasn't a dream. Arsenal did beat Chelsea by 3 goals to 0 yesterday. Amazing result, fantastic performance. Um, Confession, I missed the first 2 goals. I was actually in transit from JFK Airport to the Barleycorn, where a lot of Arsenal fans from not just New York but the whole East Coast came together to watch the game. Tremendous atmosphere, really, really fun to be there. But just my luck, missed the opening 2 goals. Alexis and Walcott scoring those, but was there in time to see Ozil's third and a very comfortable second half. I mean, impossible to talk about this game really without talking about the 3-0 win over Manchester United just around a year or so ago now. Similar, an early blitz, knocking the opposition out of the match really, and then being able to sort of see through the second half relatively comfortably. It's funny, isn't it? We think of Arsenal as like a possession-based team, but our best performances always tend to be these kind of rapier counter-attacking style. So yeah, something to think about there. And I think, you think of that United game, there was the formulation of a new front line with Theo Walcott through the middle. In this game, we saw Alexis through the middle, and it was very, very convincing indeed. Obviously, that United match was a bit of a false dawn in several respects. Arsenal never really capitalised on it, never really mounted the kind of title challenge it looked like we might, and Walcott in particular did not flourish in that central role. Let's hope it proves different for Alexis and different for Arsenal this time around, because what we saw was very encouraging indeed. The first goal was scored by the Chilean. Gary Cahill had his John Terry moment, dispossessed close to the halfway line. Alexis raced through, and that's, I suppose, the advantage of playing him right up top. You get his pressing game in the area where it can most hurt the opposition. And what an accomplished finish it was, just lifting it over Courtois. Second goal, well, Theo Walcott, who was excellent, I thought, all day, probably could have had another goal or an assist, certainly, if he'd been a little bit better when free in the penalty area on a couple of second-half occasions. But he worked tirelessly, finished well on this goal. And I thought we saw the tactical benefit of playing him on the right-hand side and Alexis through the middle. When Alexis drops off, Walcott's free to take up those central spots. He did here a brilliant through ball from Iwobi, nice cross from Bellerin, and tucked away by Walcott. 2 goals in the space of a couple of minutes. At that point, I was sat in a taxi getting text from Andrew from Arsblog. Pretty furious, really, that I'd flown for 7 hours and was now missing such a landmark performance. But I quickly got over my irritation and was pretty excited about what I was hearing. And even more excited when I saw that second goal back on replay, because it is a brilliant one. But to be honest, I've got a lot of time for the third too. Counter-attack this one. Mesut Ozil spinning away from no less than N'Golo Kante on the edge of his own box, playing a 1-2 with Alexis Sanchez, tearing up the field with speed, with determination. And Alexis's clip pass, volleyed home by Ozil. Not the cleanest of volleys, it won't surprise you to hear. Got a bit lucky with the bounce, but who cares? Fantastic moment. And Ozil had a really terrific game too. I think the presence of Iwobi in the side means that Arsenal have a much more varied creative threat, and that probably creates more space and more opportunity for Ozil to show what he can do. But this was a good performance front to back. Mustafi, I thought, maybe had his best game in an Arsenal shirt. Some good sliding challenges from him. That's becoming a bit of a trademark. Koscielny was good. Cech made an excellent save from Batshuayi at one point when he went through one-on-one. Bellerin, very good on the overlap. Monreal, solid. I even thought Kieran Gibbs had a good little cameo as a substitute. The one downside maybe losing Francis Coquelin to injury. But Granit Xhaka is not a bad replacement as things go. So this was all in all an absolutely terrific result. Arsenal could have scored more, to be honest. But Chelsea had their opportunities too. I think the important thing really is that Arsenal don't allow this result to go to waste, really. I mean, it feels like a big moment when you look at our results over the course of the season. Apart from the opening day, which was very disappointing, they've actually been very good. And now you put this as kind of the cherry on the cake of that opening period. It begins to look rather strong. And were it not for the outstanding performance of Manchester City, I think we'd be looking at the league table a lot more optimistically. So there's 2 more games until the international break against Basel and Burnley. They both feel winnable. If Arsenal can win those games, they'll reflect on a very strong opening to the season. Anyway, I'm off to do the Arscast Extra live now. If you are in New York, It's going to be at the Barleycorn at 1 p.m. See you then. Bye bye.